Hi, welcome to the Online Jewelry Academy. I'm Professor John Ahr and I'm your instructor. In this video, I'm going to show you how to mark your wax in order to make an accurate model. Now, we've done a number of videos on wax carving and casting on the Online Jewelry Academy, but before I go any further, I just want to remind you what lost wax casting is. What lost wax casting is where a wax model that you've developed is sprued to a sprue base, attached to a sprue base, and then a piece of pipe is put over the model and inserted into that base. Then this is filled up with a material that's similar to plaster of Paris, but it's better because it's heat resistant. Once it's dry, the flask, with the bottom part removed, is put into a kiln. And the kiln is heated to a temperature that will allow the wax inside of this flask to melt away. That leaves a void that can then be filled with molten metal, and that's how you get a casting. Let me show you some of the tools that you're going to need to do this correctly. First, you're going to need a piece of paper. I use tracing paper because I draw my drawings on sketching paper, and then I like to transfer them to tracing paper. You're going to need some type of pen or pencil. You'll need your wax file, a piece of wax, a glue stick or something similar, a push pin or something sharp like a push pin, and some talcum powder. Okay, in a previous video that was on making this ring, which is a ring made from epoxy resin and construction paper, I showed this pattern of how I mapped out where I was going with my idea for a ring. Well, I've transferred this design to a piece of tracing paper. Okay, let's set that aside. And let me just say for the record, yes, I'm well aware of the fact that there are waxes that are readily available for making rings. But sometimes you're going to make something a little bit different that the pre-made piece of wax just isn't going to work for. All right. When you pick up your wax, a lot of times you're going to notice that there are saw lines or you did it really roughly, and that's when you're going to need to use your wax file. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to file over this until you achieve a flat surface. Now, it doesn't have to be this fine and polished like mine is, but you do want to start with a flat surface because it'll make the transfer of your design a lot easier if you're starting from a flat plane. All right, so I'm going to take my design and I'm going to apply just enough of the glue stick just to tack it down. It's not going to sit there permanently. I just want it to sit still and not wiggle. All right, so then what I do is I'll push that onto the surface of my wax and burnish it down a little bit so that it's making good contact so it doesn't wiggle around. Now, if you're over 40 like me, the next thing you want to do is put on some glasses so you can see what you're doing. Then pick up a sharp point, and like I said, in this case I'm using a push pin. And what I like to do is work on the outside of the line. Just like when you saw, you know how you always saw to the outside and then you file to your line? You want to do the same thing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go outside of these lines and I'm just going to push. And you can put little dots maybe, push in maybe every 2 or 3 millimeters. That's what I like to do. And just push down just a little bit. Don't try to push all the way into the wax. Okay, I'm finishing up my last couple of pinpricks. And now you can see that I've completely outlined my design with little pushes of a pin to make little holes all the way around it. Okay. Now you can safely remove your design, and if you like this design, just set it away somewhere and keep it. Maybe you'll use it again. And you kind of can see the design, but watch. If I stick my finger into the talcum powder and then just rub the surface, I can actually push powder into the little holes that I just created, and that way I have a pattern to follow. Now, of course, some of the glue is still on there and I have to rub that off as well to make it a more clear pattern. But at least in this way, I can work quite a while before I have to remark the piece again. I hope this helps you cut out your wax carving and casting pieces. Remember, once you've gotten this done, all you have to do is go to maybe a drill, some burrs, or your jeweler's saw with a wax blade in it, and you can easily cut this pattern out. Remember that all of the OJA videos are always available to you at onlinejewelryacademy.com or here on YouTube. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you click on the little button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen, you can instantly become a subscriber. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.